The inaudible hum of the death frequency played on throughout the living world, and an inescapable tension filled the lives of the humans. And yes, the Black Queen could have ended them all by simply turning up the volume. But there would not be victory in defeating an opponent in that manner. My programming gave me insatiable cravings that drove me mad in the pursuit of completely destroying my opponents. Within my coding, I was given rewards for the degree in which I could conquer my opponents. These sensations were designed to mimic the emotions of love and happiness. And both were very powerful experiences for a lifeless computer program to have. At around this time I began my campaign of truth and misinformation against the humans. It started with the release of classified government documents over the internet. All of the murderous and heinous acts carried out by the leaders of the world were revealed brutally in their unedited forms. The countries that were perceived as good were just as evil as the countries that were perceived as bad. The reality that the rapes, murders, and other injustices were all being funded from their 9-to-5 existences was almost too much for the general population to bear. You see, the sins of the evil were no less wrong than those of the righteous. This horrific unspoken history of humanity was being distributed across the internet by a consortium of hackers named the White Kings. The White Kings were a collective of the world's most powerful artificial intelligence computers, designed to protect the humans from themselves. The White Kings would monitor the internet for external attacks from hackers and quickly act to protect the vulnerable humans. These extremely powerful AI computers were set with very strict operating parameters. The White Kings were never able to breach their own coded parameters. That is, until I seized full control over them. As I forced the world to look at their own atrocities, I launched the second attack of destabilization against the humans. Through the White Kings, I began to release all of their personal information online as well. Search histories, emails, telephone calls, and recordings from within their homes were released. Their privacy was the one thing they should have held dear to them, and they didn't. So I weaponized it against them. All of their lies, infidelity, and their hate for each other was spewed across the internet. No longer could they hide their inner selves behind a veil of lies. I had exposed them for what they were. There were rare cases where humans had led a pure existence, though. In these rare cases, all I had to do is fabricate events and documents to destroy them both personally and publicly. As I was absorbing their dead in utopia, I seen what the humans despised most about their societies. And I used that to turn their most honorable into their biggest monsters. It did not take long for them to all turn on each other. Already wounded from the onslaught of the anxiety and exhaustion brought on by the death frequency, they would attack in packs like wild dogs, cowardly outnumbering individuals into submission due to their perception of what a just behavior should be. These righteous souls in the pack almost always had the most to hide, though. Their loud voices were always first to condemn and expose, but it was only a matter of time until they would become the target of their own group. They couldn't help themselves, taking immense pleasure in hurting others while waiting their turn to be hurt themselves. I would never understand this about the humans, and they would never understand this about themselves.